شكرا أستاذة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Good afternoon, everybody. Glad to see some faces I've missed for so long a time, almost 1 year. Yet, I'm going to talk about the experience we lived. An experience which was an event, a very important one for our school, for our students, for your minds, and for Morocco as well. Mrs. Ben Abid, and I'm sure you cannot guess what efforts she put in guaranteeing our participation in that program, because she's aware, and she was aware of the importance of that event. The event we're talking about was, of course, the New York workshop, but the New York workshop was only the closing up of a whole course that was made of 2 parts. A theoretical part you took in Morocco, and that theoretical part was almost geared to communication, to show you the importance of communication. Communication, I don't mean just speaking, but anything that is used to communicate. You were exposed to how to speak in the public. You were exposed to how to make decisions. You were exposed to how you explain, give facts. And most of all, you were exposed to negotiating, which is very important. If you put all these skills that are related to communication all together, you are going to find out that they were and they are not only important for you, for that workshop, but they are important for your whole life. They are skills that not only politicians need, but also leaders. And our school, we have that responsibility to prepare leaders in all domains of life. Are you talking to me? I'm sorry. All right, okay. So I'm going to focus on that workshop. I'm not going to talk a lot about what you did here in Morocco, but on that workshop, which was basically a kind of study trip. When we say trip, that is traveling. And recently, I was listening to a program about traveling, and somebody said the best school for humans to learn is travel. Of course, there is school, but traveling is more important than that. And from that trip, we learned a lot of things. Could you remind me of things you learned? Just like that. Let's make it a participating presentation.
Being independent.
Being independent. Can you tell us more about it? In what way?
Well, we traveled with our parents, so
That's one thing.
we learned how to manage ourselves, our money.
That's very important. Not only yourself, but also your money.
Yes.
What else?
To develop your personality and your self-confidence.
Can you tell me how?
In
Did
the
you
workshop,
achieve that?
you are talking in front of a lot of persons that are coming from all the countries. So a lot of persons could not understand the English you talk, but either of this you are talking and you are expressing yourself.
All right, okay, that's good. Something else.
We got the opportunity to talk with other people from different countries.
That's really
And
important.
we got to communicate we got the opportunity to talk and speak ourselves and manage to learn about different countries and different cultures, a lot of things.
That's very important. Anything else you learned?
We actually learned about politics.
Bulgaria? Nothing? I'm sure. He just forgot. We visited the most important landmarks of New York. Example.
The United Nations.
United Nations.
Yes.
That
Yes,
was
of
very
course.
important. And it was a privilege. It was a privilege. Not anybody could visit the premises of the United Nations. It's not given to anybody. Right, okay? But we did. And what was more is that you attended, or we attended, the General Assembly. What else did we attend, if you still remember?
The ECOSOC Assembly. The ECOSOC Assembly.
Right. What was it about, please?
About the Moroccan problems. Like, there was Mr. Hilal and there was...
Was it only about Morocco or about
Well,
Africa?
Africa.
About Africa.
Africa,
All right,
yes.
okay.
But
Yes.
especially Morocco.
Talking about Mr. Hilal, His Excellency Mr. Hilal, that is an important personality, a Moroccan important personality. All right, okay. Yes, we had the chance and we were honored by meeting him and by listening to him talking about the problems of Africa. There was other people, other Moroccans, who managed to succeed in the United States. Do you remember any of them? I'm going to tell you. Abi Surur Bubkar, the one who chaired one of the panels in that meeting, in that session. And we also had the chance to meet the one who went from Morocco, Amin Laridi. Right, okay, yes. And most important than Amin Laridi,
Mr. Pacific.
right, okay, Brahim Fasifiri. Right, okay. All these people, we could not have the chance to meet them, to talk to them, and those very kind people from the Moroccan mission in the United Nations. You remember them? I forgot her name. We talked to them late at night.
Yes.
You remember them?
Yes, I remember their name.
Yes, I don't remember her name.
Her
Either. Right, okay. So, very nice people, very educated people. We had the chance to meet them, to talk to them, to take pictures with them. And that is very important in your life. I hope there will be models for you in your life. Take them as models. These are very successful people who managed to achieve their objectives in life, and most important, the way they are working for Morocco. This is very important. Very good patriots who spend most of the time defending Morocco and its integrity and anything that is related to Morocco. Right, okay, so I was the chairman of that group, and me too. I learned a lot of things. The first thing I learned from that trip is I thought I knew everybody in that group. But when I went there, I found out that I didn't know everybody. What was missing in my repertoire, as they say, was a lot of positive things about everybody. When I saw you working in a homogeneous group, you cannot imagine how proud I was of you. My responsibility was not easy, but you helped me. And thanks God, we achieved our objectives. And everybody came back to his or to her parents and to our school. We enjoyed ourselves, we discovered things, and we learned a lot of things. So as I was saying, I thought I knew everybody, but I discovered that what I knew about everybody was just little. And there was a lot to discover about everybody. As I said, when I saw you working together, helping each other, forming a homogeneous group, I was really proud. I should not complain about your behavior, although I had to follow some of you to wake you up in the morning, to ask for time, and to see if everybody was attending or not. But that was, I did it with great pleasure. In addition to that, I would say that I discovered New York anew, because I was there some time earlier. But the last time I went with you, I had another vision of New York. And it was a positive one, not a bad one. Although, if you still remember, New Yorkers are always speeding and always using their car horns, which is in other cities not accepted. Remember those people walking in the street and having their coffee and eating in the street? Why? Why do you think they are doing that?
They don't have time.
In a hurry. And hard workers, and they give time the importance it should be given. No time to waste. No time to waste. When it's time to work, they go to work and they do their work. There are many, these are some of my impressions after I finished. I'm like, okay, but I've done it. I asked you, and I will ask you to give us and the audience your impressions, either in Arabic, in English, or in French, whatever language you'd like to use. But I would prefer English. What is more related to that experience is the fact that you all managed to make it. You succeeded in the theoretical part of the course as you did in the practical part. And through discussions I used to have with, what was it? I don't remember his name, Michael? Michael something, all right, okay. Your group or our group, you remember the number of our group? What was it called? G9, Group 9. That was our group, all right, okay. He used to tell me that you were one of the best groups, if not the best one, because he was following your participation in the workshops, he was following your attendance, and he was following everything you were doing. So he was glad of your performances, as I was glad of your behavior. So thank you very much for that. The respect you showed to one another, the respect you showed to the other participants, and the serious way you used to deal with your assignments. And the proof is here. Today, we are celebrating your graduation from that course. And I congratulate all of you. And at the same time, I congratulate your parents. And I congratulate the captain of our ship, Mrs. Ben Abid.
Thank you.
These diplomas you are going to get are a plus in your education. They'll be a plus in your CVs, because when you apply for a school, for a university, and you mention that, it will be taken into account. Thanks a lot for your attention. And let us see what are your impressions about that. We start. I used to call her Al-Hniqa. But she's very nice. She's very nice. She's very nice. Allah يرضي على ممتازة. الكل. يلا. Go ahead. Tell us something.